Hey there gang, what's up and welcome back to another video on Streaming Stars. The funny sci-fi sitcom Rick and Morty has developed a huge fan base due to its whimsical humor, engaging characters, intelligent dialogue, and high-quality animation production. Some fans see it as an animated version of the famous Breaking Bad. But despite the incredible production value that goes into it, the show does come with its share of bloopers and mistakes, which you might have missed out while binging on the show. Before we get on with the video, do drop a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to be notified of more awesome videos in the future. Let's get rolling, guys. Number 13, The Formula. Episode 4 of the show, namely M. Night Shyamalan's, showed us how a group of aliens tried to outsmart the genius Rick and eventually failed. Despite the win of Rick and Morty against the scamming aliens, there was a silent blunder hidden in the episode that was caught by viewers who watched it up close. The aliens tried to put the duo in a simulation machine in order to scam them and obtain the strong dark matter formula. The aliens intended to play with Rick's mind inside the simulation, and they even put up a simulated Morty in the cell to trick Rick out and reveal his secrets to the fake Morty. Little did they realize how smart they had to be for trying to outsmart someone as present-minded as Rick. He shared the wrong formula with the simulated version of Morty and ended up making a blunder by messing up that formula as well, leading to the utter demise of the scheming aliens. Number 12, Floating Drink. When it comes to animation, it takes crazy layering skills to pull off a great video. Even editing a single frame photo on Photoshop requires a number of layers to enhance the picture in different steps. Making animated videos is a next level step for such layering proficiency. The more enhancement you want, the more layers you gotta make to set your preferences in a different layer each, assigning what objects need to be on the front and which ones are supposed to be at the back and their transitions. Rick and Morty is a huge set for the animation screen and has made a number of mistakes. Such is the scene in the episode The Wedding Squanchers where the Birdman was having a conversation with Beth and there's a character in the back holding a drink. As the Birdman ended the chat and moved from the frame, he was seen walking between the character at the back and the drink he was holding. The drink crossed his belly as he moved. Despite being a minor mistake, it looked really awful to the fans who watched the series diligently. Number 11, Squirrel Attack. Wearing a device that can help him understand animals, Morty eavesdropped on a group of conniving and scheming squirrels who ended up chasing him towards Rick's garage. When Morty arrived, the frame showed the garage, a couple of laboratory equipment on the shelves, and an empty table. However, when Rick started berating Morty for the mess he had caused, a machine with a red buzzer appeared out of nowhere. To anyone keeping an eye on the meticulous details of the show, this was a huge blunder on the part of the editors and the animators. Number 10, The Hole. Another mistake happened to occur in Season 2 of the show. In the episode Morty Night Run, it was a mixed-up theme of space and physics-related science where Rick was bound to save Morty in their small spaceship. Rick farts to save Morty in order to fill up the fart cell, pumping in a large amount of water so that their opponents would be flushed out into space through the hole in the vessel. Things were fine with this scene up until the realization of Rick coming into the scene. Rick entered the cell, barging into the wall and then making a big hole in it. Well, the flooding of cells with water fails if there's a huge hole in the cell, right? Rick escaped the cell with Morty using the same hole in the cell, which when you think about it, really doesn't make sense at all. Number 9, Vomit Gallery. In a scene, Rick and Morty were seen standing outside a store named Vomit Gallery. The gallery had a few bushes in front of its entrance. Rick was about to perform an experiment on Morty that would enable him to make his urine drinkable. Before he could start, a weird creature appeared through a magic spark. Rick warned Morty not to look at him as it was a hoax creature. While the scene was moving forward, the camera shifted back to the frame with only Rick and Morty inside it. However, the bushes in front of the Vomit Gallery entrance had somehow just disappeared. Number 8, Christmas. Anatomy Park is one of the famous early episodes of the show. The episode shows Christmas celebrations and excitement of Jerry, involving the entire house being super active in the celebrations. The arrangements were up to the mark, but the animators of the show confessed during the show's commentary how they disturbed the scene by messing up Jerry's appearance for the Christmas celebration. Excited Jerry was seen wearing a red Christmas sweater with the Christmas trees upside down in its formation, denoting as if Jerry is against Santa Claus or Christmas itself as a secret and hidden message. The mistake might have been offensive for the big number of people following the show and those who celebrate Christmas. Number 7. Orange juice with no ice. When it comes to video editing, it is at times even more intense than video animation. This causes many continuity errors that the general public ignores and sometimes don't even notice. In an episode of the show, Rick intended to serve Jerry a glass of juice. He rushed towards the freezer, pulled out 3 ice cubes, and tossed them into the glass. In the next scene, however, when Rick was pouring down the juice in the glass was empty with no ice cubes present in it, showing the glitch left by the editors. While tossing down the ice cubes, it was clearly seen that out of the 3, only 2 managed to roll out on the floor, while only 1 made it into the glass. Yet in the next scene, there wasn't even a single ice cube seen in the glass. Number 6. Into the menagerie. Rick and Morty were isolated in a menagerie for humans operated by a wild creature. In a conversation between Rick and Morty inside the cell, the air vent of their cell was quite distant from the ceiling. In the next scene, however, when the weird creature was shown walking down the aisle of the menagerie, and in the smaller frame, while Rick and Morty were cursing the enemy, the vent was shown joining the ceiling at that point. This showed yet another editing mistake, as the distance between the ceiling and the air vent almost disappeared. Number 5. Killing Uncle Steve. Another continuity error was seen on the show when Rick murdered Uncle Steve at the dining table in front of the entire family. The scene showed a family dinner arrangement in the dining area. Rick approaches in with a gun and shoots Uncle Steve right in his head. The shooting causes a massive splash of pink blood on the wall behind and a framed picture of a horse fixed on it. Following the scene, when wide-angle shots were shown, the editors missed out on the pink blood on the wall and the background. Several times it was shown in many scopes, and the only frame editors could get right was the initial one. It got so obvious when other frames came into the picture with clean walls. Number 4. Mr. Loomis's introduction. In Morty's class, the principal came in to introduce the newly appointed counselor of student guidance, Mr. Loomis. In the shot from the back of the class, students could be seen sitting facing the principal and Mr. Loomis, whereas the back of the students' chairs were visible in the shot. The camera turned to the counselor and later took a closer frame of the front row kids, and to our surprise, there was no backside of the chairs shown anywhere near. This might be another example of a continuity mistake. Number 3. Background pillows. The episode Morty Night Run showed another glitch in the credits scene where Rick and Morty were settled in their shuttle, and between them, a few pillows could be seen at the back. However, when an alien showed up to the shuttle and knocked on the window, the frame showed a science project lying in the back instead of the pillows. It's pretty weird to ponder about who replaced the comfy pillows with a machine in a matter of seconds with no apparent purpose. Number 2. Moon Spirit. In a lab experiment where Rick and Morty were shown in the scene, Rick tried to do some experiments on Morty for the very first time, which freaked Morty out. Rick forced a metallic helmet on Morty's head and it fit perfectly. Rick then started the experiment and tried to haunt Morty of what was about to happen. Between the attempts of scaring Morty off, Morty's head was seen too big for the helmet, as if it swelled up or that the helmet had shrunk in size. Number 1. Purple Vial. One of the scenes in Rick's laboratory showed him holding a test tube type of vial that was purple in color. He was chatting with Morty about how the energy is lost with emission and wastage of such precious fluids. It made Morty concerned, and the camera focused on his face. When the shot returned to Rick, the color of the vial had turned blue. Either it's a sheer mistake, or just that the vial went empty. He was also found saying that technology engages memory, so it might be a mind game played by the producers as well. Despite being an extraordinary, amazing, informative, and binge-worthy animation television series, Rick and Morty have a number of uncommon glitches which sometimes aren't very easy to notice, but they are super obvious and cringes the viewer up. These mistakes can be continuity errors, director's fault, or simply minor mistakes by the character, most of them being the fault of the animators and video editors, as it's the most typical part of animated series creation. This brings us to the end of our video. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you did, do let us know by hitting the like button, subscribing to our channel, and hitting the bell icon for more juicy content in the future. Until then, take care and goodbye.